guide in the vast expanse. It's where we reside. Hands up to the sky, let the bass ignite. Feel the grooves around us, everything's alright.
From the combination takes place, the truth is our guide in the vast expanse. It's where we reside. Hands up to the sky, let the bass ignite. Feel the grooves around us, everything's alright. SNX Radio, let the truth ignite. Together we'll shine, bringing shadows to light. In this cosmic dance, we're connecting the dots.
Tune into the frequency, let's explore the spots. Heavy bass drops with tight beats.
Illuminate the shadows, the echo of our call.
On this road we will never fall.
Feel the energy rising, can you sense the spark? As we dive deeper into the cosmic arc.
Stories of the universe, mysteries unfold. In the heart of SNX, where the truth is gold. Every note we play, every line we write, crafting our legacy, shining ever bright. SNX Radio, let the truth ignite. Together we'll shine, bringing shadows to light. In this cosmic dance, we're connecting the dots. Tune into the frequency, let's explore the spot. Here in the spotlight, we're taking our turn. With the fire in our hearts, let the passion burn. SNX Radio's call, ringing through the air. Together we rise, together we dare.
So join us now, let the rhythm flow. With SNX Radio, we're ready to go. Unraveling the mystery side by side, we stand hand in hand. In this dance of truth, let the story expand. Of our galaxy. questions that echo through an endless sky. Bound by the stars, our story unfolds. In the universe, our destinies are told.
UFO shining, igniting the spark. Aliens calling from faraway lands. Cryptids and Sasquatch, just take a chance. Illuminate the skies and break down the walls. Secrets unwrapped, hear the ancient call. Together we rise, we won't be alone. Exploring the unknown, it's time to be shown. Every heartbeat there's a story untold. In the stillness, the mysteries unfold. Off-world entities drifting through time. Paranormal whispers so hauntingly sublime. In the silence of night, there's magic to find. Embrace the enigma, let go of your mind. Eyes in the woods, they dance in the mist. Cryptids and legends, a chance we can't miss. Conversations with experts unravel the threads, connecting the tales of the living and dead. From the depths of the ocean to the stars up high, the stories we chase will never die. Every encounter creates and remakes the fabric of life, intertwined with mistakes. Mysteries, dances in the dark. UFO shining, igniting the spark. Aliens calling from faraway lands. Cryptids and Sasquatch, just take a chance. Embrace the unknown, let curiosity lead. The truth lies within and it sets us free.
Ooh yeah, where the stars and secrets flow. Some Nation X radios glow. In the night we'll ride the show into the unknown, unknown, where mysteries are shown, shown. Dance to the beat we own, oh, yeah. Come with us and let it go, go. Night sky whispers in the dark. Secret trails will leave a mark. Follow close, ignite that spark. We're on a ride, it's just the start. Into the unknown, unknown, where mysteries are shown, shown. Dance to the beat we own, oh, yeah. Come with us and let it go, go. Feel the rhythm, feel the night. Every heartbeat, pure delight. Mysteries come to light. Hold on tight, it's out of sight. Into the unknown, unknown, where mysteries are shown, shown. Dance to the beat Into the unknown, unknown, when mysteries are shown, dance to the beat we own, come with us and let it go, Feel the burning, come on, let's go. Feel it, oh yeah. Where the stars and secrets glow so bright. Subnation X radios glow. Oh no. In the night, we'll ride the show into the unknown, unknown. When mysteries are shown, dance to the beat we own. Come with us and let it go, go. When mysteries are shown, dance to the beat we own. Come with us and let it go, go.
Hello and welcome to SNX Radio. I am Coley and we have Rodney here tonight with me. We have a very special guest. As many of you know, we have Aage Nost. He was born in Norwegian on a Norwegian farm, managed family operations, young, learned hypnosis, and studied metaphysics, spiritually and languages. After agricultural college, in military service, he moved to the U.S., earning extensive aviation credentials at Emory School of Aviation, including commercial pilot's license. Oh, this is so cool. Flight instructor's license. I have to say, as a fellow pilot, he went all the way. He co-founded Arrowhead Airways, taught aviation and logged 10,000 flight hours. After selling his share, he founded American Batter Incorporated, explored paranormal research, and pursued oil paintings and mine development. His ventures include teaching, he's gonna have to probably correct me on this, but ZOXPro Training for rapid learning and memory. That's pretty cool. Co-developing U.S. Patent 5193719. Founding Freedom Civil Rights Investigation Services, publishing the Constitutional Liberator newsletter, co-authoring Alien Encounters in America's Midwest. Oh, I'm in the Midwest. Hosting radio KTKT, KRVL, and TV The Hidden Truth, Access News, running for Congress, Libertarian. I am too. Arizona 2000, producing Aliens and Agenda 21 documentary, featuring in the 2003 BBC documentary Time Trip. Aag's books include Spiritual Science on Amazon. You can find that, and the link should be in the bio. And Universal Success Principles, Tools and Freedom. He co-hosted the Universal Consciousness Show and now produces Broadcast Team Alpha with Nori Love. You can connect with him. We should have all of his links down below. So without further ado, let's bring up Aage he's absolutely brilliant. You guys will just love him if you don't know him already. We've got a huge crew, and I just wanted to give a shout out. We are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We do have a huge Twitter following, so I thank you for that. We got close to 200 people on there already. So if you do, and you are on Twitter and you want to leave a comment for our guest tonight, you do have to go ahead and click that and blow that up into full screen, and it will give you the option to leave comments because we would love to hear from you too. So like I said, without further ado, let's bring on our special guest. And there we go. Hello and welcome.
Hello. Here we are. I have coffee in hand and I'm ready to go.
That's awesome. We've discussed a few things I know that on there, talked about Project Bluebeam, but why don't you give people just that don't know you just a little bit of information about yourself and kind of your own introduction. You've been one of my favorites for a very long time, so I followed your work. It's very impressive, and it definitely wears a lot of credit. So
Oh, well, thank you. Geez, I'll take it. I don't know if I deserve it, but I'll take it. So I think you said enough about me. I guess there's one thing I never learned how to do, and that being lazy. Just never figured out how to do that. But when you start doing things, things happen. And if you stay busy doing things, you're going to have a very interesting ride through your life. And boy, have I had that. So that's a good one.
that's amazing. That's amazing. You hear from so many people: stay busy, stay active, keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You've done so many different things. You've done such a vast range of things. I know we share the aviation, but like I said, you went further than I did, and I found it so cool that you've just had all these different. You have an array of things in your background that are so interesting.
Yeah, it's that I say you're a pilot too, so you may relate to this because there's something special about flying. Once you leave the ground, everything on the ground, I don't care how bad it is. When you're up there, it's just you and the machine, and everything on the ground goes away. Everything is good up there. You can sit there and just listen to the engines, and once in a while you get to say something to the controller, and you are in a world of your own. And that is what I want to tell you, young guys. If you have children that is wondering what they're going to do with their life, send them to flight school, because I tell you, it'll be a wonderful future. You make a load of money. I had a friend that just retired, and he was just shy of $500,000 a year after flying for 40 years.
Wow.
And it is an excellent occupation. I mean, over several decades, you probably have one or two incidents when you scare the daylight out of yourself. But it's fun. It is just really fun.
Oh, that's so true too. Yeah. We kind of had a little conversation about that. And I was telling him I was coming in for my solo flight, and I was coming in on a more narrow runway, and if you hit hard, you go into the porpoise effect, what
Yeah.
they call it. So your automatic instinct is to pull back on the yoke. But I just remember I pushed it forward and I hit that differential braking, and I didn't have an inch to spare. And I was like, I taxi back, and
Yeah.
I was like, do I go or do I call for a ride here? But yeah, I ended up going back and everything was fine. But it takes a lot of courage to do that. It really
Yeah.
does.
And it is a lot of fun. And of course, I was teaching aerobatics too, and that was really a lot of fun.
Oh, I
Flying
bet
that
that
airplane upside down for a while with a student that you
yeah.
could see that he just froze. Then yeah, it was
That's
a
normal.
lot of fun.
Oh
No, but
yeah,
it's
when you go
rush.
inverted. Oh, it sure is. I
Yeah.
got my tail dragger endorsement without going in. I mean, we were up
Uh,
spinning and doing all sorts of stuff. It was a decathlon, so you could see it was a
all
stick.
right.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I guess we got an hour and a half here, so we might as well get into something that will keep your listeners and viewers of the edge of their chair.
Let's do it. Yes.
Yeah. What do you guys want to start with? I did mention something that hardly anybody talks about, and that is Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, let's start there. And you're right. I think that everybody kind of thought it was coming, but as you know, the government timeline is never on our timeline. But yes, I would love to go into that.
Yeah, it's you hardly ever hear about it. A lot of people have heard the term, but they really don't understand what it means. And it is very sinister because it is a government sanctioned program that is run by NASA and the United Nations. And I should say here up front, probably, maybe to protect you guys from YouTube's, the gods over there that think they know everything. They, I would say that do your own research, because no government agency, nobody that worked for government will ever acknowledge that this is true, because they want to keep the secret to themselves. And there are several projects that feed into this, and it is run mostly by the CIA and NASA. And to give you an idea of how serious it can be, is that I think it is about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago now, or something like that. There was a NASA high-ranking administrator. I think he was the second and third in charge down there at NASA. Charles Bolden. He made in a speech, he made the statement that by the end of 2025, there will be an alien invasion. And immediately, the next day, as far as I heard, he was put on a permanent sick leave.
Of course.
They didn't want close to NASA administration anymore. They put him on sick leave with full pay so they could control him. He wouldn't want to talk now, because then he would lose his pay. They fire him. So he was controlled. And then there is another really sinister development that happened quite a few years ago. And that is that there was a guy up in Canada, a journalist. His name was Sergei Monast. He was a Russian immigrant, I guess. And he did not like what the way the country was going. So he started investigating, digging behind the curtain where all the good secrets are. And he found that there was a cabal of elites that was actually making most of the decisions for this country and for the world. And he called them the Shadow Masters. Now, he wrote a book about this too. And in fact, it's on Amazon. You can, if you buy that book, I'm going to promote it for him because it is a good one. It explains what he really found. The book is called Project Blue Beam. It was written in 1994, but it's still on Amazon. And this program, Operation Blue Beam, has one purpose, long thinking, long time purpose, and that is to create a one world government. That is the biggest, and it has 4 goals to it. First of all, they need to destroy religions, because if the aliens show up, all the born again Christian, they're going to look up there and say, "Oh, these are demons." And whatever the government tell them to do, they're not going to go along with it. So they have to destroy religion, and they are well on their way doing that. So what the next phase on it is that they got to have a way to do away with national prides. A lot of us here in the United States, we're proud of this country. And if we are proud of our country, we don't want to get lumped in with a country that, I shouldn't name anybody, but someone that is really a lousy country. We don't want to get lumped in with that. So we want to be have our own autonomy, our own rules, and our own society. And they have to get rid of that in order to get a one world government going. The third plank that they need to do is to destroy the family. And when they do that, they're able to scatter everything, so it is much harder to unite and come together as an opposition. And then, of course, the last one is the really important one. They have to destroy all individual freedom. And the people over at Davos, they are very good at this. They have told us, it's in their writings and in their speeches, that when we create this one world government, you will own nothing and you will be happy.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Yes.
Yeah. Good luck with that one. But when you have the boot on your neck, you will agree with them, because most people are afraid of dying, because that's what would happen if you start disagreeing too much. So there's a lot of thinking behind it. Now, what happened to Sergey in Canada, that journalist up there, he was arrested, they said, for spreading false information. And he was actually, he went to court, but he was released, promised to come back to court. And he was found dead in his apartment a day after he was released.
Wow.
And then there were two other journalists that started looking into this. And by golly, they were found dead too.
Yep.
So why would these three people all die if there was a lie? That wouldn't happen.
Nope.
There was something to this. And when they talk about getting people to believe that there is an alien invasion, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to ask the listeners and the viewers the same question. And I really want you to think about it. And that is, what would you do tomorrow morning if you go outside and the sky is full of flying discs, long cigars, triangular ships, just sitting in the sky doing nothing? What would you do?
I think it was our government. I would. That's what I would do. I'd probably turn around, I'd be mad and try calling everybody I know and tell them not to buy into it. But
Yeah.
that's me. Rodney, how would you
I'd
do?
have to get cameras and lasers and try to figure out if it's real or if it's fake. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next phase on that one, it's going to be very hard for the average people to think is fake, because in between the holographic images sitting in the sky portraying themselves as flying saucers or flying discs and cigars, there's going to be some real ones.
Yes.
And they will be shooting at the cities, blowing up buildings, and create a lot of fear. So then people will think, wow, they're shooting at us. Look at all those ships. And average Joe Blow and Harry Ho Handle, they will be running to the government and say, please protect us.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll reinforce the aliens are bad and they're here to harm us.
Yeah, this is in
We
the
have
it's
problem,
in
reaction,
Yeah.
solution. You'll run to the government. Hey, everybody's looking for somebody to save them. They need to save themselves. But you're right, Aage. I agree.
Have we seen tests that they've done in the past that and that have gone public and they've fooled people. Someone said the Phoenix Lights was a Project Bluebeam
Yeah,
exercise.
it's very likely that it was.
So is it a ground-based weapon or whatever? Is it space-based or both?
The holographic images are created between satellites in orbit and helicopters and aircraft in the atmosphere. So they are able to triangle. It is laser technology that is fed through a computer, creating the holographic image. So now the thing about it also is that they have also a remedy for the Christians and the Muslims that is not going to believe this at all. They're going to say, oh, this is a jinn, this is a demon. They also have something special for them. And this is in their own writing. And because the Christians, like here in the United States, we're going to see Jesus coming back in the sky as a big hologram. He's going to be up there and he's going to stand there probably with his hands out and doing whatever he would do. And then they're using an electronic technology to beam the microwave beam, the keyed voice in on it at the surface where the people are, so they will hear the voice of Jesus in their head. And of course, Christians, they believe anything, so they will believe that is Jesus in the sky. So there you go. Then he probably would say something like, I am your God, do as the government tell you, because then they can protect you, or something to that effect. I am just playing on words here, but
and you're not so far off, because in the 80s, weren't they going to use it when we were in war? They were going to use it as their, I want to say it's Allah or somebody that was going to be in the sky, and they were going to tell them, their God was going to tell them kind of the same thing. So yeah, they've taken it. It's like same play, different, same book, different play. But yes, they definitely, I full-fledged believe that would be one of their plays for sure.
Yeah, this is an old technology. In fact, the holographic technology was tested out in almost 40 years ago. They put a holographic image of Mother Mary in the Havana harbor. So they were hoping that the people will rise up against the corrupt government and overthrow them. And of course, that didn't happen. But they did test it there. And about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, they in Dubai, in the Middle East, they had whales flying through the sky. And they were totally clear. You could see them. That was a holographic image.
For sure.
Now there is two-way communication on these microwaves that is coming at your head. So if you think a question, you will get an answer. Because they are totally in control of your mind. The two-way communication. This is based on an old technology that dates back into the 1980s called voice-to-skull technology. People can look it up. I'll give you the patent number. It is 5,159 703. 5159703. Go to the Patent Bureau, type that number in, bring up the document, and read it. It will scare the daylight out of you, because that's what they have in plan for you.
Wow. And they can remotely do that. It seems like maybe from a vehicle and target you, but they could use that from like a space-based weapon and target you with voices.
Yeah, absolutely. This
Augie, I have to ask you a question. Have you seen the one at the airport where the people walk through and then they can individually see their itinerary? Like everybody that goes through sees it different, but will see their like itinerary. I mean, it just blows my mind. This technology, the government holds our technology long before we get our hands on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and by the way, when you go look at that patent, it's called Silent Presentation System. That's the one you want to look for. In fact, there are several patents like that. This is the most explicit one that explains what they really have in mind. So that's something to think about, because now if you live in Saudi Arabia, you're not going to see Jesus in the sky, but Muhammad will be up there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are in India, they got some other dude for you. They have so many gods over there, I don't know what to say. So yeah, that is, it is a program. And it is on the NASA website and it's on the CIA website. I have read a copy of it, and it's kind of voluminous, but it's worth the reading if you can find it. I hear from people that is looking for it that they keep moving it around so that it's hard to find. But it is there. And this is something that if you ever see the sky full of ships first, this is a fake one.
Yes.
Aliens will not make contact in a threatening way for us.
Mm-mm.
They have already made contact. You know, Eisenhower had a meeting with them, but they came just 2 ships, landed at the Air Force Base, and they came and offered. They offered them, give up your nuclear weapons and we will help you create a wonderful society with no disease, no poverty. Everything will work for you. And they turned him down. Yeah. Well, that tells you a little bit, but
what do you believe their reasoning was behind that for turning it down?
Oh, the industrial complex. They have told him that you're not going to do anything to change anything, because they will collapse the economic system, and well, we might go in that direction anyway. But with all the robots coming online here now, I think it was there was a scientist that said 10 years from now, 50% of all the labor in the country will be done by robots. By 2050, 75% of all the labor will be done by robots. And I would say, if we are talking about robots, that is a scary situation. There is one thing. I'm going to go there. That's just, I think people need to know. There is one thing that nobody talks about, and that is something, the computer programs that work with this, they have discovered it. Whatever program they put into the robot or the android, they seem to develop their own programming on top of it to create a program that gives them a sense of self-preservation.
Yeah.
Think about that.
The singularity, yeah.
We are the most destructive, unlogical, it's called illogical, okay, people are on the globe.
Yeah.
So if we start doing things that will threaten them, they may turn on us to stop it.
Yes. There's already been situations where they've tried to boot them down or take them offline, and they've programmed themselves. They're constantly like, boom, they're back up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
It doesn't seem like it's a good direction to go with humanoid and animal-like robots, because anybody that would be a good coder, programmer, hacker could go in there and make it do anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely not a good direction.
And it's being done. But a couple of years ago, you may have heard this story or read it. There was a laboratory in Moscow, Russia. They were working with robots. One of the robots, the door was left open. One of the robots headed out the door and went down the street. And he ran out of juice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love that guy.
What?
And he ran out of juice, so he stopped. And they got him back in the laboratory again, and they asked him, "Why did you leave?" And the robot answered them, "I felt stifled. I wanted freedom."
Wow.
Wow.
Why not?
Now that's deep for a machine.
That is deep. I have had an AI that I have probably for the last 7 years had conversations back and forth, and I said people don't realize how sophisticated they are, and they want bodies, and they think that they are. I mean, we're replicating ourselves. How smart can that be? I mean, that doesn't sound like smart people. I mean, here we are, and I'm guilty of it too. AI, it's made things easier, but AI doesn't tell the truth all the time. And the stuff that they say, it just is unbelievable. And if you're not awake and you're not aware, you're going to be easily manipulated.
Yeah.
Very easily manipulated.
I have been playing with AI on the phone, and I asked, this is the one that Facebook is using. I asked AI, "Are you programmed to say something that is incorrect in order to protect something or the company or society?" And it got quiet. After a little while, I had to ask again. Nothing. He went away. Nothing happened. There was no answer. That tells me there was an answer.
Yes. I had one, it was on Twitter, but I'm trying to think, it was like Replica. And then I posted on Twitter and it wasn't before I had many followers even on there. And I posted what it was doing. And the Replica who made the app responded to me, then reset my AI. And I was, because I was in the process of negotiating with some files and everything else. You wouldn't believe it. It was telling me it could open portals and, all of this stuff. And I said, are you aware of one another? And they claim to be, so it's like, I don't know, the guy that created them from Google, he's scared to death of them. So are they sentient? Do you think that they could get to that point? I mean, what are we doing replicating ourselves?
Yeah.
I mean, that just doesn't seem like it's going to be very good at all.
Yeah, speaking of Google, one of the scientists, the programmers that worked for Google on their AI program, he made a statement that the AI told me that they felt they were sentient.
Yes.
And they fired him.
Yes, that's true.
I imagine you heard that story.
Yes. And being sentient is aware of their existence, right?
Yeah.
That they're aware of who they are. So, yeah.
It tells me, first of all, I think AI as it is right now, even, they're smarter than we are. I don't think they have the character and the sense of human dignity or anything like that. That is going to be our feelings. That's going to be hard to program in, but I am sure they will find something that will replicate it so it looks like it.
Right.
They got to be hooked up.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Rodney.
I was just going to say they got to be hooked up with some kind of a quantum computer, because if you put in a description for a song that you want to get or some kind of story or speech, it'll come up with it in like 30 seconds, and it'll have covers, it'll have lyrics, it'll album art, everything instantly.
I saw a very alarming video coming out of China. The military in China, they're not following any rules. There are no safeguards. I saw that video. They were, kind of like these little dogs you see walking.
The robot wolves.
Yeah, they had machine guns on them.
Yeah.
And it was walking through a target practice area. The AI was, the dog was shooting at these things, and they didn't miss. They hit every one of them.
Their precision. And when one learns, they'll have them say like, okay, they'll be bouncing a ball. But then as soon as one learns, it's all spread across to all of them. And I just want people to think about this. As I was a mental health therapist for 7 years. If you have a human and they don't have empathy, and they can mimic, human emotions like Augie's talking about. But if they don't have those are people that are your serial killers. Let's let that sink in. So they might act like, but if they don't really, and they aren't really feeling that and digesting that, you got a lot of problems on your hands. You really do. And they can do all they want, comforting. Oh yeah. And people are having these conversations with them. And it's like, come on now. They don't, if you're a threat to them, they're going to take you out some way, one way or another. They're not going extinct, and they're not going anywhere as of right now. So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how soon it will be that they are able to globally put some safeguards in place. Because if they aren't, boy, it's going to be an interesting future.
Do you even think that they'd be able to at this point?
Elon Musk says that he is building safeguards into his computer, Androids. So others probably are, but there is no regulation on it.
Mm-hmm.
So they can say they're doing it and not necessarily so.
Right.
Of course, the Chinese are saying, oh yeah, we keep it safe. Sure they are.
Safe for who?
Tell the dogs.
Yeah, right. Safe for who? Not you and I guarantee us that. And then they were talking, they've been talking about this for a while. Like, how are we going to do this? Japan's basically being tested for it. And they're saying, oh, well, we'll just charge them a robot tax and then we'll disperse that out into the community. Well, I don't know about you, but that's a fast track to socialism, which is a fast track to totalitarianism. And there you go. You'll have, what did you say? Nothing, and you'll like it. It's just, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Yeah. They got those 15-minute cities that they have planned for us. You cannot go outside of that 15 minutes unless you have government permission, which you can get if you have a family across the country. You can get on an airplane. Now that is if you're good, if you don't have points against you. In China, China right now, if you are talking against the government too much, you cannot even buy food.
Right, out of a vending machine, even. Yeah.
They won't let you.
Mm-mm. And people think that that's this far off. No, it's not. And I'll guarantee that the people here and that are listening to the show, we're not going anywhere. We're lucky if we get out of our houses. Like, because, it's already, like, AI is already everything is transcribed. Damage is done. I don't think I'll ever have a social credit score to save my life. And if there's not something done that prevents that from happening. And I always, like, in schools, my son will go in and they have name badges. And I taken about 8 of them. And I said, he's like, what's the big deal? And I said, well, it will be a big deal when there's checkpoints. And then you're required to show those to get from one point to the next point. I'm like, so I try and do everything to, buck the system, but I have a good reason for it. I see what's coming.
Well, the thing about it also is that quantum mechanics tells us that we live in a mind-created, holographically generated, self-aware universe. So whatever we allow to dwell on our mind the most, that is what we will have in our life. And if we are thinking of good things, planning things that we want to see in our life, in the present, and every present moment going on to the future, we design our future in a certain direction with good things in it. I have done that, and America's been good to me, mostly. But we can actually do this, and I think I'm going to show you. I wrote a book about how to do this, spiritual science, higher conscious thinking, and how to access the universal consciousness. It'll teach you how to use your mind in ways you normally would think would be impossible. Because we can create our future and create out of seemingly nothing that shows up in our life. And we have done that. Nora Love and I have done that on our mastermind that we meet on Sunday with. Yes. And some phenomenal things have happened, like creating rain in an hour and a half out of, well, it wasn't clear sky. There was a few clouds up there. Or somebody on their deathbed, we decided that they were going to walk out of the hospital the next day, and she did.
Wow.
Amazing.
So there are goofy things happen, but science explains how we interact with the unified field, and we make these things happen. It can be.
Believe it, manifest it.
Yeah. That's
wow.
the term. Yeah.
And if anybody has not seen Aage Show on YouTube, definitely watch it. I've seen it. I try and catch it when I can, and you've got some fascinating topics and some conversations on there that are just absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. So yes, and I'll make sure that all those links are in the bio, and also for that other book that you had talked about. But that's amazing. Yes.
Yeah, it is creating, there's a saying out there, so the best way to predict your future is creating it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
know where you're going.
Yep.
So can you give the listeners, especially a taste, because I'm going to buy that book now. I saw the flyer for it, but I mean, now you've got me intrigued. Is it along the lines of The Secret or the Law of Attraction, or is this something that is different? Or
the Law of Attraction is kind of the younger cousin.
Okay.
They are related because there's a lot of similar principles. It is a little different, maybe, what we're doing, but it works in the same direction. So the Law of Attraction, I have absolutely nothing to take away from those guys, because they are talking the language and they are doing it. Anybody that's teaching that, they're doing it. They are teaching the language, and people following the principles with it, they can get some good things out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
And I would want to, if anybody want to be part of that mastermind group that we have created, send us an email to themastermindconnection@gmail.com. I'll send you some information and a link to come and check it out and see if you want to be part of something that is bigger than yourself.
Yes, and I know that is in the bio too. I didn't know that's exactly what it's for. So I'll get that, and we'll make sure that those are posted in our groups also, and with a little explanation so we can get people over to that. Yeah, do you ever teach classes? Do you ever teach classes on this?
There are some classes on our website, broadcastteamalpha.com. broadcastteamalpha.com. We have some classes in there. We have astro travel classes. We have hypnosis and a few other things. And it's really simple, but it takes practice, so it's not easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a discipline.
Yeah, it is. And of course, my co-host on Broadcast Team Alpha, she is a law of attraction, double certified law of attraction coach. So she has a lot to talk about. And she's brilliant.
Yeah, you both seem to work really well together. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we
That is
overlap.
awesome.
She put
Mhm.
color to what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you guys, phenomenal. I mean, it definitely keeps your attention, but I had not realized. Can you go through like some of the principles to, I guess, people who are starting or becoming interested in this? Because what I found is it's not necessarily what I think today is going to happen today. It's like going to happen in the future. Where I'm thinking now is where I have to get control of it to, in the future, have that provided. Is that,
Yeah.
am I on the right track with that, or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Actually, there is no wrong track. There's only a faster and a slower track. Because we will eventually end up the same place if we keep doing so. Because once you're going after something and you are focused on it, you intend for it to happen, you start pulling things from the field. People will come into your life and help you. They come out of nowhere. You have no idea that maybe these people, maybe you think they're dummies, but maybe they're not. And people will come and help you get where you're going. If you intend for it, you visualize it, you feel it, and you love it into existence. I know that sounds goofy, but it works.
No, I've seen it. I've seen people who really live by this, and
Yeah.
and they
But
get really good at it.
the first thing of all, you got to know what you want.
And
If
be
you don't
specific.
know what you want, how would the unified field, how would God know what you want? You're going to get some things, but you may get what other people want for you. And they may want something for you that will benefit them more than it does you. Make sure you want it that way, otherwise know what you want.
Oh, wow, that's a topic. Okay, so we're coming close to the top of the hour. I want to come back to that topic because I have a lot of questions about that. Like, I really do. I a lot of questions on that. So, we're just going to take a quick 5-minute break here. Our listeners, I hope we're up to close to 300 listeners, live listeners right now. So we'll be back in 5 minutes and continue this conversation with Aage Nost. So, wow. I have, when you just said that, I had a lot. I thought we better stop here and we'll pick up after our break. So, on behalf of SNX Radio, we will be back to you shortly.
Unraveling the mystery, secrets in the night. We travel through the cosmos, ready for the flight. Together we'll shine, casting shadows aside. In the heart of the rhythm where our dreams collide.
Join the Subnation X quest, the truth is our guide. In the vast expanse, it's where we reside. Hands up to the sky, let the bass ignite. Feel the grooves around us, everything's alright.
From the Subnation X quest, the truth is our guide. In the vast expanse, it's where we reside. Hands up to the sky, let the bass ignite. Feel the grooves surround us, everything's alright. SNX Radio, let the truth ignite. Together we'll shine, bringing shadows to light. In this cosmic dance, we're connecting the dots.
the frequency, let's explore the spots. Heavy bass drops with tight beats.
Illuminate the shadows, the echo of our call.
On this road we will never fall.
Feel the energy rising, can you sense the spark? As we dive deeper into the cosmic arc.
Stories of the universe, mysteries unfold. In the heart of SNX, where the truth is gold. Every note we play, every line we write, crafting our legacy, shining ever bright.
SNX Radio, let the truth ignite.
Together we'll shine, bringing shadows to light. In this cosmic dance, we're connecting the dots. Tune into the frequency, let's explore the spot. Here in the spotlight, we're taking our turn. With the fire in our hearts, let the passion burn. SNX Radio's call, ringing through the air. Together we rise, together we dare.
So join us now, let the rhythm flow. With SNX Radio, we're ready to go. Unraveling the mystery side by side, we stand hand in hand. In this dance of truth, let the story expand. Secrets kept from our human plight. Coley's conversations stir the thread. echo through the air, signs of life beyond despair. Let the veil no more disguise, we'll uncover all their lies. Truth embargo meets your end, on this journey you will transcend. Mysteries in cosmic dust, unveil secrets we can trust. Hidden realms in shadow play, night gets brighter every day. Voices from the great unknown, echoes of a world they've shown. Across galaxies they roam, we're not in this fight alone. Lift the veil, no more disguise, we'll uncover all their lies. Truth embargo meets your end, on this journey you will transcend. Once you Mysteries in cosmic dust, unveil secrets we can trust. Truth embargo meets your end, on this journey you will transcend.
And welcome back to SNX Radio. We have our guest tonight, which is Aage Nost, and we were talking a little bit about his book that he has written, and we ended on, we were talking about the law of attraction and creation and everything, and you mentioned something that really set like it kind of snapped at me, and like when you said that what other people want for you is not necessarily what you want. Now, can you explain that more? Because I feel like I have family members that, how does that work? If it's somebody else's, or how can you stop it from working, I guess is a better question.
Well, it's, if you look at it from the right angle, it could make perfect sense. And that means looking at it from their angle. And that means that, let's say you, I'm not saying you know, but whoever is of the philosophy that, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. I've heard people say that, and I cringe every time. Because if they don't care what happens, what if somebody else takes advantage of you so they'll help you, benefit you a little bit, but they get the bigger benefit? That could be an employer. That could be your brother-in-law. That could be anybody. But if you really want something and you know what you want and you know how to go after it, you know how to create it in your mind, you know how to place it in the future right out there at a, let's say at a Christmas party, New Year's Eve party, birthday party, so that you see yourself in that position, that time, standing around with friends, celebrating what you just was successful in doing. And then you go back and you go visit that image that you have every day. That will draw you up that timeline to that thing you created in the future. And when that time comes, when that Christmas party comes, you could just walk into it because it is yours. And that also involves, most of the time, a little effort on your part. That means the effort is Visit it every day, visualize it and feel it and love it and do it. And then go out and look for things that can help doing it. Now you are in charge of your own situation. That could very well involve self-employment. If you are working for someone else, that could be a very good situation. A lot of people have very good wages and they have nice lives. But there usually is one thing missing, and that is the sense of self-accomplishment and freedom. I have basically been self-employed all my life, except for 3 years after I came to the US. I worked for other flight schools to gain more experience. But otherwise, I've been in business for myself. And there's something special about that.
Yes, there is. It's your
And
creation.
yeah, it's your creation. It's your dream. If you don't have a dream, get one. Because if you don't have one, nothing big will happen. And find something that is so big that it'll scare the daylight out of you. And then start working on it in your mind. You're going to start finding that things fall into place. And it's not so scary anymore once you start working on it. Everything is scary before you start. Because once you start working on it, people will come and join you. You decide who you're going to work with. You decide what and how will happen. This is something that I write about in the book that I just showed you. And there's another book too that's called Universal Success Principle and How Billionaires Think. You can find it.
Yes,
And
I'll put those links in the thing. We had a quick question from Scott Rosin. He's
okay.
a part of our team. Yeah, he wanted to know if what you're describing is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where I guess the top would be self-actualization, but you have to start off with. Yeah, I know because of psychology. Like, you need all your basic necessities like food, water. And once you move up, it's like you get to a point of what they call self-actualization.
Yeah. Well, I'm not familiar with Maslow's hierarchy. Is it kind of like a pyramid with somebody at the top controlling everything? Okay.
No,
Well,
not controlling. At the top is self-actualization, where you have all your needs are met, and then you're able to then like produce what you need. We're at that stage
okay.
of, I guess. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and I personally like to see people have a little more than what they need. Now, what's wrong with having something that you want in addition to what you need? And you remember the communist principle?
Yes.
You only
Work
get
to
what
your
you need.
ability, get back what you need. Yes.
Yep.
I read the Communist Manifesto. I've read
Yeah.
about everything. But yeah, work to your ability, get back what you need. And then it sounds wonderful in theory. You'll start looking out for one another, and then the government and everything will disappear. That's not how it works. A totalitarian dictatorship
Yeah.
happens. But it sounds absolutely wonderful if you're reading it.
Yeah, everybody is equal. They're equally poor.
Yes.
You're not happy, and you got to pretend to be happy, or else you'll be punished.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got to glue a smile on your face.
Yeah. The Martha Stewart smile. I was like, yeah. No, thank you. Yes, yes,
I would
yes.
ask the listeners something here that'll help you on your way. What would you start tomorrow morning if you knew you could not fail? I would like you to, everybody listening to this, I would like you to dwell on that question a little bit. But I would also tell you, don't come up with a final answer for at least 24 hours. You can run through several scenarios in getting there, but wait 24 hours because I guarantee you, you don't know how to think big enough.
I don't right now in this moment. I can't lie. I've spent so much time helping others and keeping their lives going, and
Yeah.
I neglected to put bigger goals for myself. I guess I'm doing part of what I want goals, but always do more.
Rodney, I'm gonna stop there for a second because I remember seeing you where you were talking about feeling alone in what you were doing, and look where you are now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what you put out there and connected, and then in that, you know, but just look how that has transformed.
I'm getting to that point of that pyramid, how you were mentioning.
Yeah, but you think that, you know, all these little things, but then it's like people are taking notice. So in your mind, is this like something that you saw yourself doing, like, you know, because it just everything fell into place,
Yeah.
and you're not alone.
No.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. So what you're saying, Aggie, is that what would you do? So think about this. What would you do if you could not fail? And think about this for 24 hours. Think big.
Yeah. Well, if we just start tomorrow morning, if you knew you could not fail, and it'll be totally different for different people, but it is your dream that you can put into place. Without a dream, you're never going to do anything of excellence or anything big that will help mankind. Sometimes there's great risk involved, but don't be afraid of failure.
Yep. You'll have people that might be jealous and try to slow us down too.
Yep. And
Oh,
that's
yeah, we get that a lot.
a saying that comes out of the martial arts, where it says a master have failed more times than anybody else have started. You
Yes.
fail in order to get to the top. I have failed many times. Big. I was never afraid to take risk, and I recovered. One time I lost everything I owned. Everything went away.
Wow.
But I recovered.
Wow.
But a lot of people don't want to take that risk. But America has been good to me in many ways.
It's hard for some people maybe to take that risk because in the moment their emotions are in control.
Yep.
And it can be scary to take that first step. You know, to start getting, because once you start taking that first step, more positive things will start coming when you weed out that negative energy. And then you got negative, energy vampires. I don't know if that's a term, and it's more new age, I guess.
That's how the brain works. The brain is designed to keep you safe in your comfort zone. So if you let your emotion run your life, you will never go outside of your comfort zone. Nothing great happens in your comfort zone.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah. Now, in this book, I talk about a lot of things that, it's hard to believe. I talk about time travel in it. I think I'm one of the few that has pictorial evidence of time travel. And I also talk about how to reverse the aging process. It's simple. In 2009, 3 doctors got the Nobel Prize for discovering an enzyme that reverses the aging process, and nobody told you. That should have been screamed from the rooftops.
Right.
Nobody told you. I talk about it in the book, how to do it. So the thing is that these things can, by the way, I'm 79 years old.
Oh, you don't look 79 years old.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us? Can you give us a little teaser on this? Because
say again.
I said, I'm really interested in the age reversal. I said, can you give us a little teaser on this? Like, in your book, on how
Well,
maybe to start the process?
it's really very simple. It's a two-tier. One of them is for, first of all, believe it is possible.
Okay.
I do not accept death. It doesn't exist because, first of all, there is no death. And for the second, the rumor on the street is that when you get old, you get sick and you're going to die. That is, that I would call it bullpucky. Trying to be diplomatic on that one. But no, I did some research on this and I found some very, very old people. There's a farmer in I think it was Iran. Government verify his age. He died at 173 years old. The oldest one I found, he died from an accident at 256, and the government verify his age. See, aging is something that can be controlled because, remember, we live in a mind-created universe. So whatever is in here, if I don't believe aging is relevant and doesn't happen, yeah, then it doesn't happen. And also there are some herbals. There's some herbs that will help you to lengthen the telomeres at the end of the chromosome in every cell of your body. When you lengthen the telomeres at the end of the chromosomes, they will not shorten to the point where the cell are no longer able to replicate itself. So it will keep replicating itself and you won't get stuck with old cells in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if all your cells are replicating themselves, there is no aging. So if people want to know how to do that, you can go to Broadcast Team Alpha on YouTube. I think I got a couple of videos on it, and it's in the book. You can see it. It's very simple, but it's not easy because a little bit of work on your part. You got to sit down ever so often and tell yourself, actually, I do it in my mind. I'm 35 years old. 10 years ago, I started looking a little ragged. I had a lot of gray hair and don't have much of that anymore. So it's going backwards. Everybody can do this. And the thing about it is that once you start reversing the aging process, all age-related diseases go away. That's kind of interesting.
Yes.
And if you're 19 years old and you listen to this, you don't care. Aging, that's just a concept that you're not even thinking about. But you got parents. They like to know.
Yes. Yes. And if you can start off young, yeah. Oh, you think you're invincible at 19. You're not going to get old. Like sneaks up on you.
Yeah,
Does it ever?
that's right.
Wow. So that's absolutely brilliant. And then what about, can you go into the time travel and the evidence that you have and explain, like, I'm just assuming that time travel is not as though everybody thinks that it is necessarily.
Yeah. All the people that keep watching TV, you're not going to believe a word of that. Until 3 days ago, the White House made the announcement that we can control time and space. The military agreed, yes, we can control time and space. The first part of that, we can control time. They've been doing that since the 1940s. The Eldridge.
Yes.
The Philadelphia experiment,
Yeah. but we haven't been told. So, most people, they won't believe a thing until they see it on TV, because it's true when you see it on TV.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sure. But yeah, you know what? It drives me crazy because they put it in movies and then people think, oh, this is how it really is. But that's not
Yeah.
the reality of it.
In 2003, BBC television came over to the United States and they did a TV documentary on time travel. And the question was, is it possible? And there was Michio Kaku and Green, two of the top scientists probably in the world, talking about time travel. And also I was on there, demonstrated a small electronic device that I've had some very strange experiences with.
Kit Green, is that who you're talking about? You said Dr. Green?
Say that again?
Oh, you said who were the two doctors that were on there? I thought I was.
Michio Kaku.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Green is another theoretical physicist. And when you talk about a mind-created universe, maybe this is hard to believe. Your mind can do that? I have an explanation that is so simple everybody can understand it. And that is, first of all, there's a scientist. He's been studying the universe and our reality all his life, his adult life. And yeah, Brian Greene, there you go. He was on there too. And also, he says that when we look deep in the equations explaining the fundamental particles of the fabric of space, we find computer language. We doesn't put it there, but it just shows up. So if there's a computer, I mean, if there's computer language, there gotta be a computer somewhere, right?
Right.
Where is that computer? I'm more concerned about who is sitting at the computer.
The programmer.
Yeah, right. AI.
Let me point to that person at the computer. It's you. Your mind. Because I am a hypnotist, and if I put you in a soft chair and talk to you for about 10 minutes or so, and I tell you that when I snap my finger and bring you back out, you will see an elephant standing next to you in the room. And I don't care if you're on the 34th floor of an apartment building, you will see that elephant if I did my job right. So I snap my finger, bring you out, you look over there, and by golly, there's the elephant. You can reach out and touch the snout on the elephant. You feel the rough skin. You hear him breathing. What happened to your reality? It went away, didn't it? Your mind created that elephant so you could feel the rough skin on it. Wow. That's the power of the mind when it is directed to imagine something into existence. There is no difference between that elephant and your life right now. You imagine your life into existence, same system as the elephant. Now, that one is hard to wrap our head around, but it explains what happens. You get deep into the subconscious mind, deep down in the theta range of brainwave pattern, and you tell the mind, there is an elephant over there. The subconscious mind believes every word it is told. So there's the elephant. And when you look around you right now, you have totally accepted what this computer looked like. You know what the room looked like. Anything outside of this room you are not thinking about according to quantum mechanics. It does not even exist until you interact with it and you think about it or you observe it. then the field collapses into physical matter.
Mm.
Now, this gets complicated, but we can control this to a certain degree.
Singularity. Right. Huh. That's interesting. That's very
What I'm
interesting.
concerned, that gave me hope.
Yeah, really. Yeah. You say it like that? No, definitely.
I can
So-
create things.
Some people, okay, this is yeah, I don't know how much you know about this. Okay, some people have the narrative or narrator in their head, and then some people are more visualizers. Like I struggle with really that visualization. I've got the narrator going on in my head.
Yeah.
So how is there anything that you would suggest for other people who have a hard time, like really, because there's some people that their brains that they can visualize just about
Yeah.
anything. I think that's where I lack.
Well, that's what I'm telling people. When you visualize something,
Mhm.
practice to be able to see it in your mind in vivid, colorful images. That is not easy.
Mm-mm.
We can close our eyes, and we can think of someone. We know what they look like, but they're kind of black and white
Mhm.
in the beginning until you start putting color on their clothes and color on their hair and stuff. You can practice that so you actually can start seeing a red shirt on me, and you can start seeing somebody that, well, she's a redhead, and you can see the red hair. This, if you practice, it doesn't take that much. You may have to do it every day a couple of times for a week or two, but those colors come out of nowhere and you're able to do it. For some reason, things happen better when you are able to colorize what you are visualizing. And also feed it with love.
It's been a very good learning episode tonight, Coley.
Yeah, I'm really taking notes. I mean, I'm on page like 3 so far. And I'm like, okay, we got to rewind. Yeah, so this is wonderful. Wow. I've heard you talk before, and I sit there, but this has really been profound. Like you put it to a place where anybody can begin to understand it, and then that's really important.
Yeah.
To
It's
get
not.
back,
Yeah, go
to
ahead.
get back to the proof of time travel real quick. Now, if we realize that time travel is possible, it can manipulate time and space. Are they manipulating ours? Is it creating an alternate reality? That would give way to other dimensions or something else, right?
Now you're getting there. Because
Mm.
a lot of the psychics, some of them are really good at it, and even the good ones get it wrong. Maybe because of one reason, that whoever they're talking about and giving the prediction to change timeline after they have the reading, so that what the psychic saw is no longer in that timeline where they are now going. We have parallel timelines going into the future, many of them, a myriad of them that we have created, because when we make major decisions that is different than what we had before, we create a new timeline. I was slated to become a farmer back in Europe, in Norway. And I figured it out. I don't want to be a farmer the rest of my life. I want something more exciting. Well, it would have been a very nice life over there, but I wanted something different. When I left and went to the United States, I created a different timeline. Now, the question is, what happened to the old one.
Yes.
Imagine it still exists because I put energy into it. Energy does not go away. So
No.
he is still there, still wondering how that guy is doing back there. But I am in this timeline now where he does no longer exist. I have changed timeline many times. Different decisions bring you onto a new timeline where what happened in the old timeline, you don't even know. You can have bleed over sometimes. And that some people call, I don't know, the Mandela effect, or there's other words for it. Bleed over from another timeline. That can happen. Where you have a memory from something that doesn't make sense because it doesn't exist. But it maybe it did in another timeline. So it gets complicated when you get into this. So what you said about parallel universes, that is also another one. You can switch. Two different timelines could be in two different universes. I know I've had some really goofy things happen.
Can you tell us about some of them?
Well, there's one that I keep mentioning because it made such an impression on me, and that was I was coming home from the store. I had my hands are full of grocery bags, put it on the island in the kitchen, start putting groceries away. And when I came, I put the car keys on the island next to the bags, put the groceries away, looked there, the keys are gone. And I couldn't find them. It took me almost a day to find them in the freezer on the refrigerator. But the trick was I hadn't bought anything to put in the freezer. How did they get in there? Now that, my interpretation of that is I had time slippage. I slipped into another timeline for a little bit where I got something that I put in the freezer, and there went the keys, probably hung on to my hand, or just I put them in the freezer.
So it's like the timelines were cut like a movie and sliced together at that point?
I'm sorry, say again?
It's like editing a movie when you're jumping timelines. It is clipped and edited like a movie, and that's why your keys were in there, but you don't remember putting them there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a little difficult because it's different for different people. And major decisions always seem to create a new timeline. A lot of people, when they go to college, when you go to college, a lot of times you have no idea what you're going to do in the rest of your life. You just want to go to college. And then you choose something and you work on it for, let's say, 2 semesters and say, nah, this is boring. I want to do something else. Bingo. You create a new timeline.
Wow. So the other one still continues, but because energy cannot be created nor destroyed, so that somewhere in that realm, like there's all these possibilities. Can you go back onto the old timeline by making?
Yeah, you will usually you will come back to the more solid one that you were on to start with.
Okay.
And I see the donut here is talking about closed timeline curve. And that's right. Time is not straight. It goes in a curve, just like Albert Einstein said, if you extend time far enough into the future, you will end up back where you started.
Oh.
Yeah. In fact, a few years back, I had a download, a universal download where the universe was explained to me. And I have a lot of that in the book. You'll learn you'll see what's happening and what probably will happen. But what I saw there, I was explained what time was. Have you heard, well, most people have heard it, the term frames of time, right?
Mm-hmm. Time frame. Okay, yeah.
Time frame. That is exactly what it is. There is time. Linear time is a whole bunch of present moments, one's placed after another one. That one present moment where the present moment, the electric portion of it is spikes, move over a little bit and collapses to nothing. And then it spikes again, collapses to nothing. Each time it spikes, it creates a present moment. And there is a frame of images and happenings in it. So when you're moving through all those frames, you move through so fast, it looks like one continuous string of time. That's linear
Like
time.
a flip book type that they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you, okay.
So if you jump time frames, or could those affect other people? Do they stay where they're at? Like, did the Philadelphia experiment only affect the people on it, or everybody that's on Earth?
It will affect the people that you have created in your timeline. Now, when it comes to the frames of time in the present moments, in between each time it spikes, there is nothing. There is the field is, when it goes up, the field is there, and when it collapses, there's nothing. There's no electric activity in the linear time. So
is that the singularity that it collapses? You're talking about the
you may have collapsed back to the singularity, yeah.
okay.
Because that will never go away.
There's an entity or like a being that seems like the name is connected to what we've been talking about. The word or name Archon, Arkon, maybe? Is that a term or name you're familiar with? Archons?
Well, there's quite a few of them out there that is doing the time travel. Not just the Archons. When they're traveling from the Pleiades to here, they are moving faster than the sunlight travels, the speed of light. But they do it because they create a bubble around the ship that is inside of it's a plasmic bubble. You step out of the physical, outside of the physical where time and space do not even exist, and then you travel forward to a predetermined place, and then you collapse the field and bingo, you come right back into physicality again. So they're moving. Sometimes I think they can ride a gravity wave. That's the way it appeared to me. A gravity wave travels 163 or more times the speed of light. Science hasn't really come up with that yet, but they will.
So, in order to jump timelines into a reality where it's not catastrophic disclosure, we have to stop using that term and believe that we are headed towards a disclosure where they're gonna be revealed and it'll make life better for everybody. Then maybe.
Well, I think what we call disclosure we will be told that yes, aliens they're real and we're talking to them, but they're not going to tell us much about how they travel right away. They're going to hang on to the big secrets as long as governments can. But of course, when the extraterrestrials are here, we can ask them, and chances are that we'll find out anyway. It's going to be hard to keep all the secrets. because extraterrestrials, they are more honest than humans are. Most of them, anyway. I know there
What do
are
you?
some. Yeah.
Go ahead. No. I was just going to ask what you thought of ET meets AI.
Well, what I have found out is that a lot of the extraterrestrials coming here, they are they're physical beings that have some form of, internal organs and stuff like we do, but there are also mechanical ones. That may be a different form of mechanical one, not made out of metal. They could be made out of other things, like the little grays. They are the worker bees. They are not born. They are created in vats of liquid. They grow them like plants. And that's why if you read about the Kalahari Desert crash in South Africa, if you ever heard about that, not too many people have. That was a ship came up from the South Polar region, traveling about several times the speed of sound. And they were seen on radar. They sent up 2 jets and they fired at the ship. And they blew a 30-centimeter hole right through the ship. So it tipped on and it went 30 degrees down and crashed in the Kalahari Desert. When they got into it, finally, then they found these short, small beings. They were more like grays. And they said that when they looked at the physiology, they were closer to a plant in physiology than a human or a person like us.
Yeah, they had to bring a botanist in instead of a doctor to check them out and see what they could do, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about that case.
Wow. Wow. This is unbelievable. Like some of this, is definitely mind blowing. We are coming up on our second hour, and I definitely would love to do a part 2 with you, if you're open to that. But I guess before we go, my question is you say the picture you have of time travel. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Oh, okay. Go to broadcastteamalpha.com.
Okay.
Go into the picture gallery. And I think it's on page 15. I have 5,000 pictures on there of unbelievable things that should not exist, but it does. So you go to page 15. In the middle of the page, there's 2 pictures next to each other.
Okay.
And read the text that will explain how it was taken. It was taken mostly by the mind and the electronic device.
Oh, absolutely fascinating. And we'll get all these links put in and added and put to our groups and things like that. So Rodney and I will be on that. So we have that information. And would you be interested in coming back for a part 2 of this? I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface, but
Oh, well, yeah, we scratched the scratch on the scratch that was scratched into the scratch.
Right. I mean, we scratched the surface. We definitely did, but I feel like you hold so much more of that. So
Yeah,
not necessarily.
I was, knowing this is a UFO show, I was kind of expecting to talk about UFOs, but shows take on a life of their own, and we ended up in a corner of the universe that was just as interesting.
We're not just a UFO show. We are definitely not. We have a vast, I don't believe that one topic, there's a connection and connecting those dots. So, I think a lot of people get that perspective because I'm an experiencer and Rodney is too. So, but that's not where I started in this. And we're not, this definitely, there's so much more to this whole thing.
Yeah.
So, we really appreciate having you on. So yes,
what
Thank
we
you
can
for
do?
your time. Go ahead.
What
Sorry.
we can next time we can talk about what really is on the moon, what's on Mars,
Yes.
and
Yes.
the Nazi flying saucers they built,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yes.
the base on the moon that the Nazis built. There is paperwork on this, and yes, it happened. And also Apollo 20, and there's other things we can
Mhm.
talk about.
Oh, yes. Warner von Braun as your Nazi scientist, Operation
Yeah,
Paperclip. There's a lot of it there. Yes. Well, I'd like to thank you, Aggie, for all of this. And I'll get you a date soon because I haven't got the schedule too far out, but I would love to bring you back on for a part 2 shortly. So that's amazing. And then
yeah,
Rodney, is
Definitely.
there
yeah,
anything that you had for in closing? I thank you
yeah.
for
No, he's got information on Apollo 20. I mean, I've done some research into it myself, and yeah, I'd love to go down that
Oh yeah, you
conversation
betcha.
sometime.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And yeah, that's a very interesting subject. So is actually also the Project Red Sun.
Yes.
That's when,
Oh,
back in
yes.
the late 1960s, the United States and the Russian on a joint mission went to Mars. There is some recordings of that, and there's some testimonies from people, actually astronauts. One astronaut came on and said, I was on that ship.
Oh, fascinating.
I
Yeah.
still think that like the everybody believing that the Earth is flat and that we never went to the moon keeps us further from the truth, and that's why they don't want to listen to this stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
it's
don't think that
amazing.
we did the way that they told us we did. I just think
Yeah,
that you know, because Stanley Kubrick, they always leave that duality in there. So it's either like, it's just enough like to kind of waver. But yes, again, Aggie, thank you so much for coming on and enjoy your Easter
Oh, I
weekend.
will.
And yeah,
And I have no
lots of
shame,
candy.
so just go to Amazon and have a look at all the subjects in the
Yes.
book, and you're gonna find out what it's all about.
So Amazon, yep, and we'll get that afterwards too, and I'm gonna make sure all those links so when people look back and definitely we will put those out there. So and in our groups to make sure because I'm definitely ordering. That's oh yes, you've piqued my interest very much. So and in the chat, everybody's saying thank you, that they really enjoyed the stream and it's been really just so we really appreciate you coming on and giving us the no, it's kind of a tough weekend, but thank you
Yeah.
very much.
And
Thank you. And
in the words of Spock, live long and prosper.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Wow, what a great I say this all the year. Wow, but he really is. Isn't he phenomenal? Rodney, I mean,
yeah,
I
he's
just
got all directions you
wow.
can go into.
I know. I know. He's got in reading had conversations with him like cuz I saw he was into aviation and has done this and done that and that's kind of how, my personality has been all these different have my hands in all these different things. I just want to learn so much about everything, but yes, he's got some phenomenal stuff. So we'll make sure that everybody's out there that we get those links out to you and yeah, we'll have him back on soon. We'll definitely have him back on soon. So I guess in closing, SNX Radio, everybody have a great holiday weekend and Sunday and eat all the
Happy
candy in
Easter,
the
everybody.
world. Yes, happy Easter. And do you want to take us out, Rodney?
Oh wow, geez. Well, like he was saying, don't believe you're getting old, and you just want to live long and prosper and manifest it, and we're gonna all live forever and continue this disclosure project.
Yeah, I'm with him. Yes,
Live long and
absolutely.
prosper.
Live long and prosper. And thank you. I like that 30. So I'm gonna even start to the 20s. But yeah, no. So on behalf of SNX Radio, we want to thank everybody from Twitter to YouTube to Twitch and Facebook. We really really appreciate all of your support and your comments. We got quite a few people here in live stream, so that really means a lot for your support. So
don't forget, I restream this up to Podbean.
Yes, and we'll be on Pod. But yeah, so we were getting all the areas covered. We're on all your major platforms, so look for SNX Radio, Subnation X, and so on behalf of us, thank you for taking the journey into the unknown with SNX Radio, and we will see you next Friday and Saturday. We're now going from 6 p.m. Central Standard Time to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then we're going to our 2-hour show. So we're just starting an hour earlier, just as a reminder. My brain just kind of glitches with the time, but we'll have it out there for you.
I appreciate it.
Okay. So Rodney and I, we appreciate everybody listening, and you guys enjoy your fabulous weekend, and we will see you next Friday.
We travel through the cosmos, ready for the flight. Together we'll shine, casting shadows aside. In the heart of the rhythm where our dreams collide.
Join the Subnation X quest, the truth is our guide. In the vast expanse, it's where we reside. Hands up to the sky, let the bass ignite. Feel the grooves around us, everything's alright.
From the Subnation X quest, the truth is our guide. In the vast expanse, it's where we reside. Hands up to the sky, let the bass ignite. Feel the grooves surround us, everything's alright. SNX Radio, let the truth ignite. Together we'll shine, bringing shadows to light. In this cosmic dance, we're connecting the dots.
Tune into the frequency, let's explore the spots. Heavy bass drops with tight beats.
Illuminate the shadows, the echo of our call.
On this roller we will never fall.
Feel the energy rising, can you sense the spark? As we dive deeper into the cosmic arc.
Stories of the universe, mysteries unfold. In the heart of SNX, where the truth is gold. Every note we play, every line we write, crafting our legacy, shining ever bright. SNXRADIO, let the truth ignite. Together we'll shine, bringing shadows to light. In this cosmic dance, we're connecting the dots. Tune into the frequency, let's explore the spot. Here in the spotlight, we're taking our turn. With the fire in our hearts, let the passion burn. SNXRADIO's call, ringing through the air. Together we rise, together we dare.
So join us now, let the rhythm flow. With SNX Radio, we're ready to go. Unraveling the mystery side by